Hello friends, welcome to another video. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but this is part 3 of my bedroom makeover series, and I still don't have a bed. Now there's good reason for this, because I have been working on the ceiling, and you guys, when I say it turned out better than I even hoped or expected it could, I really do mean it. So I think all of my work till this point has been worthwhile. But as I said, I still don't have a bed, and this is a bedroom. And so that's what we're going to be working on today. Okay, you guys, look, I would like to say that I don't know how I ended up here again with another incredibly meticulous project on my hands that's gonna take me a ton of time, but I know exactly how I ended up here. Right? It's because I had this idea in my head and then I couldn't get it out, and now I have to do it at all costs. Why am I like this? All right, so here's the plan. I've already made the frame for the headboard, which is great, and my plan is to now upholster this. But this is where I made it complicated for myself, because instead of wanting one whole slab upholstered, I want to do it in little mini rectangles. Why? Because I think it'll be fabulous. That's why. It's just a pain to do. But in theory, we will have 5 columns and 4 rows of these rectangle pieces. So this is the plywood piece that I cut to the size of the rectangle that I wanted. And it's gonna fit roughly right here. Now, one thing to note, because I'm gonna upholster this, I cut this piece slightly thinner than I actually need in real life. Then on top of this, we're gonna layer a piece of foam. And then on top of this, we've got the fabric. And this is one of the finished final pieces. As you can see, it fits right here, just like this. Now I'm a little worried that on camera, this fabric looks pink. Sad. Maybe I can fix that in post. Maybe I can't. But I can assure you that in real life, it's not pink. It's actually a neutral. It's very neutral in its color, but what can you do, right? So moving on. So in theory, there would be 20 of these pieces, right? So 5 by 4. But I'm going to skip the one at the very center and the very bottom because first it will be hidden by the bed, and second, this will be like the electronic command center station. And so now all I have to do is make 16 more of these. Woo! Pretend to be excited. Okay. So let's talk the design. Why am I doing this? In the last video where I finished the ceiling, I saw a couple of you comment that I should put a canopy bed in here because I said I was worried about plaster falling off and hitting me. Which, while we're here, let me just say that so far so good. These have been up for a month now and so far they're holding. The only piece that I can't get to stay is this one in the corner because the ceiling is particularly curved there, so I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'll also say that I feel like a huge hurdle to get past will be winter because adhesives typically struggle to stick when things get colder, so I'll have to keep you posted. But anyways, some of you suggested that I should put a canopy bed in here, which I actually think is a really nice idea, particularly if I wanted a bed that fit with the style of the ceiling. But as it turns out, I want to go a completely different direction. The headboard I want to make is completely inspired by this photo I saw a couple years ago. And yes, this might be surprising because it's quite contemporary in style, and up till now, I've been embellishing this room with antique ornate features. But here's why I like that. I find that when a lot of people embark upon their interior design journey, they are often concerned with questions like, what would go with this? What would go with this color? What would go with this pattern? What would go with this particular couch? And decorating such that you're simply trying to make things cohesive and not clash is totally legitimate. But I find that when designers are planning out a room, they not only ask the question of what would go with this, they also ask the question of what would add contrast. Because I think they know that if you have a room where everything goes with each other, you end up with a room that's pretty boring. However, if you try to find areas where you can add contrast in the shapes, colors, textures, style, etc., that's when you create designs that are unique and visually exciting. And so here, what I want to do is contrast the antique ornate style of the mantle and ceiling with a more sleek contemporary design in the bed. Now, the reason I think this is going to work is because the color palette is going to be very cohesive. I'm sticking with whites, creams, and light beige, and that's going to help everything go with each other. And so I do hope that adding a little bit of unexpected contemporary style will make this room more interesting. And let's face it, since this room is basically all white, we will need some help with that. Now, while we're here, let me address a couple of things, because if I were you, I would be curious. First, why do I keep the shade on this one window down? Simple. That's because there's a house super close beyond that window, and so I keep the shade down for privacy. This is also the case, by the way, in the living room, if you are interested. And second, what's up with this door and why am I covering it up? So the set of doors on the left is my closet, and so I'm obviously not willing to block that off. However, the other door isn't to a bathroom or anything. It's actually a second entrance to this room from the living room, but I've since converted that space to be a storage closet. And actually, all of this is Christmas, if you can believe it. At least we know where my priorities are. And so I don't need this door at all, and haven't needed it for a long time now. And in fact, I always thought it was a little weird to have two doors that led into this bedroom in the first place. And so I'm actually quite excited to cover this door up. All right, this top piece I am going to attach with this sort of fancy, squishy, double-sided tape because it's top secret. Actually, it's not top secret. I'm just deciding not to tell you right now for reasons. But if one of you guesses correctly in the comments below, I will personally like your comment. I don't think anyone's gonna get it. Here goes the first piece. So I hadn't finished all the upholstery at this point in time yet, but I wanted to go ahead and begin attaching these pieces almost as a proof of concept. Make sure that I liked it, make sure the pieces would be secure, the sizing was right, that kind of thing. I attached each upholstered rectangle using corner braces and these mini 1/4-inch screws. One of my biggest concerns was that the screws would completely poke through the plywood and then poke my head later on at some inconvenient time. I'm still not sure this was the best way to do this, but I can at least say it worked and the screws were all short enough and so we're safe from any accidental pokes. So I'm content with it. Also, at this point, it was already starting to get quite clunky, especially now with the bed in the room. So moving it around or even attaching these pieces increasingly became awkward. But you know what they say, never doubt the strength or determination of a woman who's rearranging furniture. I would definitely not put the ad read at this point in the video just because I was tired of doing upholstery. Absolutely not. This video is sponsored by Quince. Okay, so I had actually never ordered from Quince before this summer, but I was looking for some linen sheets that were in a neutral color. I have a thing against plain white sheets. Ask me later. And I found this set of linen neutral sheets on Quince, and I just totally fell in love. So I am so excited to show you the other things that I got because it's just always so fabulous to work with companies that I love. Girl, we got a bit of a haul to go through. So the first thing I want to show you that I got was this 100% organic cotton mattress protector that's also waterproof. Guys, when I saw this, I was like, well, this just makes so much sense to me. Like, we all need a little less plastic in our lives, and especially on our bed. I know it's not the most glamorous thing, but these are the basics, guys. You need them, and you need them to be good. She's a big one. The next basic piece I got for the bed is this full down comforter because I want that extra luxurious hotel vibe, if you know what I mean. Probably not supposed to show you this wrinkled, but I've already used it, so then I got a little distracted. I found this neutral linen table runner and I'm so obsessed. Basically, I think anything in the color neutral or natural, I think it's natural, that they have that's linen on their Quince website, I am so obsessed with because it's genuinely the perfect neutral color. Like sometimes I've ordered things that I've thought were going to be neutral. They're like this beige color and they show up and there's like an odd purple hue in them. Like, explain that to me. Please explain that to me. This is perfect. This is everything I've been asking for. And then also for the table, I got these most perfect steely blue linen napkins. And guys, I'm so excited. I got these actually for like next spring and summer, but you know, like, I don't know. I think it's being a smart shopper. Like, I buy my Christmas stuff in the summer and I buy my spring stuff now. And anyways, it's how it is. And I'm obsessed with these. Again, the people at Quince in the color department really know what they're talking about because this, I think, is absolutely the most perfect blue color I could have asked for. The whole deal with Quince is that they stand to bring you high quality essentials at affordable prices by cutting out the middlemen and working directly with top tier manufacturers. Their products are made from the finest materials like cashmere, silk, organic cotton, linen, and so much more. So you know not just that you'll love them, but that they'll stand the test of time. So thanks again to Quince for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to making this headboard. Now, this was a little sad, but by this point I'd finished all the upholstery rectangles, and I'd realized that the ones I had made at the end turned out a whole lot better, more straight and less dimply and the whole thing, than the ones that I had done at the beginning. And so I decided to take these pieces off and start over so that I could put the best pieces in the most prominent place in the center. Now, as you can see, I made a couple of these pieces to have holes in them, and these would be for the sconces and the nightstands that will appear later. The really lovely thing about making the headboard and the sconces in this way was that I was able to create the look of hardwood sconces and floating nightstands without drilling into the wall or anything that certainly wouldn't be renter friendly. Not to mention, I thought it would also totally look so custom and high-end, and if you've seen any of my other content, you know I'm a fan of that. It's not to say that the goal of every DIY project and room should be to look luxurious, but my goodness, if I'm given the opportunity to have the fancy thing, you know I'm gonna take it. And certainly for this bedroom, I'm really not mad about it because I think it totally contributes to this serene retreat vibe I'm going for in this room. Now, when it came to attaching the sconces, I will admit it was a little tricky at first because I had to maneuver around all the foam and fabric, and definitely these sconces were not designed to be attached completely surrounded by upholstery, but I eventually got it in the end. And if you were curious, I just used wing nuts and bolts to attach them since I wasn't drilling them into drywall. But perhaps most wonderfully, when I went to actually do the electrical work to make them actually work, this ended up being such a mini little redemptive moment from my time with the chandelier. Redemptive from an electrical point of view, certainly not in my ability to film. Anyways, once I got the headboard in place, I attached these nightstands to finish everything off, and look how it turned out! I am so pleased with the direction this room is headed, and most importantly, guys, I have a bed! I have a bed! This was the whole point of the video, and we did it. But we still have some things to adjust. Namely, the door is not hidden, and that's clearly not gonna cut it. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But that's the main project I've got left to do in this room. I mean, after that, it's just all those final finishing touches. And I think I can handle that. Now, another thing that happened that I think I wanna at least think about potentially adjust. When I ordered the mattress and the bed, I, according to the dimensions that I saw online, assumed that both of these would add up to be 24 inches in height, but they are combined 21 inches. But I had used 24 inches as the height of the bed when I decided the placement and height of these nightstands. So here's what I need your help on. Is this okay? Is this okay? Does the bed look too low? Do the nightstands look too high? Do I leave it? Or do I try to raise the bed up, or do I try to lower the nightstands? Maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe I'm just looking at it going, that wasn't the plan. Maybe it's a happy accident. I just don't know. So please comment on that one. And the last thing I'm not super in love with is that because I didn't anticipate this, the mattress doesn't completely go up to the headboard because the frame is in the way. Maybe it's not the biggest deal. I'm gonna live with it for now and decide if I want to fix this later. Oh, and if you're curious, here's a peek at what all the wires look like back there. Okay, but y'all, let's focus on the positives here. I have a bed, not just any bed, a storage bed, so helpful and amazing. I have a mattress, I have bedding, thanks again to Quince for that. I have a headboard with wall sconces and floating nightstands. Like, you guys, I think we're headed in a great direction, even though there's definitely more to be done in this room. Now here's what you need to hear. I was hoping initially to have finished this bedroom before Christmas. As you can see, however, that didn't happen. So after this video, my channel and I are going to jump straight into everything Christmas and Christmas decor, and I will not be posting the fourth and final installment of this bedroom makeover series until early next year. So if you've been following along on this journey and you'd like to make sure that you see the final video, please, for your sake, make sure that you're subscribed and that you hit the bell notification, because I don't want you to miss it. With this said, see you in Christmas. Okay, you guys, I'm coming to you from my computer because I have an idea. I think I can get a pretty cool shot if I put my phone in the chandelier, but this could go poorly. So I thought, let's film this, you know. All right. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure the instructions when, see, there's just enough. I mean, who knows what that looks like? I think this is gonna work. Okay, we're recording. Let's do this, baby.